Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we're going to dive into a story about an invention that pretty much gave music its voice. Seriously, it changed the game forever. Okay, let's get right into it. You know that feeling when a song just gives you goosebumps? Like that huge swell of music just hits you right in the feels? Well, now imagine you're trying to write that epic track, but your keyboard can only play at one volume.
Yeah.
No dramatic build-ups, no quiet emotional parts, just one flat, boring level.
So, yeah, before our hero instrument showed up, composers were kind of stuck. They had two main choices. On one hand, you had the harpsichord. The problem? It was locked at one volume. It's like trying to have a whole conversation using just one emoji. You just can't get your point across, right? Then there was the clavichord, and that thing was so quiet you could barely hear it in a big room. For sure not going to be headlining any music festivals.
But then, right around the year 1700, this Italian inventor, a guy named Bartolomeo Cristofori, was like, you know what? This isn't working. He had this brilliant, revolutionary idea for an instrument that could finally express the whole range of human emotion.
So what he came up with was this instrument with a ridiculously long name, the gravicembalo col piano e forte. I know, it's a total mouthful. But all it really means is harpsichord with soft and loud. And over time, people just started calling it the piano, which is Italian for soft. And just like that, a legend was born.
Okay, so the tech behind this is actually pretty simple, but it is absolutely genius. Here's how it works. You press a key, which makes a tiny little hammer strike a metal string. The string vibrates, and boom, you get sound. But here's the game-changing part. How hard you press that key controls how loud the sound is. That simple little trick, that one mechanism, well, that's what unlocked an entire new universe of musical expression.
So, this new instrument, think of it like a brand new next-gen video game console. It was totally ahead of its time. But you know, every awesome new console needs that one perfect game, right? That killer launch title that really shows off what it can do. Well, for the piano, that game, that killer app, was a style of music called Viennese Classicism.
So this musical style was huge back in the late 18th century. It was all about having a clear structure, this sense of balance, and really elegant melodies. You could almost think of it as music that's super clean and easy to follow. No mess, no chaos. And that created the perfect stage for the piano, with all its new expressive power, to step into the spotlight and just completely shine.
And of course, every great era needs its all-stars, right? Every new console needs its pro gamers. Well, Vienna had a whole squad of them, musical geniuses who were ready to grab this new tech and push it to its absolute limits.
So first up, you've got Joseph Haydn. He was kind of the OG, the one who set the rules for this new style. Then there was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, the flashy prodigy. This guy was a master of pretty much everything, especially operas and piano pieces. And then you had Ludwig van Beethoven. He was the rebel, the one who showed up, looked at all the rules, and decided he was going to break every single one of them.
So what this all meant was that for the very first time, these composers had a tool that could actually keep up with their huge epic ideas. They used the piano's dynamic range, that ability to go from soft to loud like it was a built-in emotion slider. They could pack their music with more feeling than ever before, going from a tiny whisper to a massive roar in the blink of an eye. They were literally telling stories with just sound.
But Beethoven, man, Beethoven especially wanted more. His music was just so intense, so dramatic and powerful that he was literally breaking the pianos. No joke. He needed a bigger, stronger instrument to handle the massive sound he was hearing in his head.
See, the early pianos were called forte pianos, and you can think of them like a first-gen gaming console. You know, amazing for their time, but just not built for what was coming next. They were lighter, softer, and they just could not handle Beethoven's super intense style. So the piano makers had to level up. They started building them with stronger frames, thicker strings. Basically, they created the PS5 of pianos. And that's the powerful modern grand piano we all know today.
And that whole evolution, that whole arms race for more power and more range, all driven by composers like Beethoven, that's what led us to the standard 88-key piano we see everywhere today. It is the perfect example of how artists can push technology forward, forcing it to evolve so they can make their vision a reality.
So here's the key takeaway. When you boil it all down, the piano became so huge because it did something no keyboard had ever done before. For the first time, it gave music a real voice, an instrument that could finally express the entire spectrum of human feeling. from the quietest, most heartbreaking whisper to the loudest, most triumphant roar.
It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, if a composer like Beethoven had access to all the music tech we have today, synths, digital studios, the whole shebang, what kind of music would he have made? It's a pretty wild thought. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, keep asking those big questions.